Interesting exchange here between Biggie and who were you talking to? And was that our engineer?
Yes.
Drew was on the line. And I'll tell you the way this works. This is unpredictable. I had not planned this at all. But we're in here listening to what's called a program feed of this show. And so we hear each other in crystal clarity. But we don't hear exactly what's going on over the air.
Correct.
And we're on a few stations, multiple stations here and there. And here, though, on the flagship where we are in middle of North Carolina, there's an issue with sound quality today. And so Biggie, during the commercial break, says, Drew's on the line. Flip over and listen to what it sounds like on the air and see if it's staticky. So I flipped over and heard, and Chris Demm heard this as well, a huge amount of static. Bad static, right. So I said to Biggie, yes, very staticky. And then Biggie said, one moment, he goes back to our engineer, Drew, and he says, is it a hiss or is it static?
He said we had to be very clear on this.
And I said, static. That is static. Now, I've been in radio 35 years. Mm-hmm. Chris Demm longer. We know static when we hear it. So we said, it is static. Biggie said, let's be clear about this. Is it static or is it a hiss? To which Chris Demm said,
at the end of the day, what does it matter?
Apparently, a lot.
Look, I'm no engineer. Kelly's right. I've been on this side of the microphone.
That's right. That's what we do over here.
I don't know if static means climbing a tower.
Right.
And hiss
or
means
unplugging something and plugging it back in.
Yeah. I don't know which means unplugging a computer and plugging it back in, and which means get the gear, we're going up.
Right. Yeah. The point is, on some of these fine radio stations, you probably want to listen through an app today or through if you can, we appreciate it. But it's a problem.
It'll be clearer.
Yeah, it will be clearer. If you can get that up and going.
If that works.
Okay, if that works, you got it. So sometimes things are thrown at you. That's unpredictable, isn't it? Didn't know that
it is indeed.
It'd be static here today.
That's not the predictability you wanted,
no,
but
it wasn't. That's right. But it is what it is, and that's where we are. So we apologize for that. As of now, there's static, not just a hiss.
We've got our best men on it.
We're rushing to the towers as we speak to try and fix this. Now we're getting some correspondence saying, you sound like crap. What's going on? No, okay, we know that. What's going on? It's difficult, when you have something like that in your way. Plus, when you can't hear it. That's another little...
Yeah, you don't know.
We didn't know. We're sitting here jawing on. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do? That's just how it is. We forge forward. That's it. I asked before. This is entertainment news now. I have asked before on this program, 2 actors that we've interviewed, when you're doing a love scene, is there ever an issue with male arousal? And they've always said the same thing. They basically just hang up. They're like, why would you ask such a question?
How juvenile are you?
How juvenile are you is what they ask.
I'm a professional. I'm an actor.
That's right. Well, now the New York Post has interviewed an intimacy coordinator. There used to not be intimacy coordinators on sets for movies and TV shows.
Now it's a job.
Now it's a job, literally a job to be an intimacy coordinator, so that if either party in the love scene feels in any way uncomfortable, they step in, and they say, okay, we've got to I'm watching this to make sure everything is on the up and up. And an intimacy coordinator that they interviewed says it happens pretty frequently. His name is Dave Thackeray, and he was interviewed by the New York Post and says it's natural. Men become aroused on the set, and when either the male actor, either it happens to him and he says it, or the intimacy coordinator who's watching says, we've got... He raises...
Is that the intimacy coordinator's job to raise a hand and say, I see tumescence?
Yep.
There's a puberty word for you.
I don't even know that word. What did you say?
Tumescence. You don't know what that means? Neither one of you?
I don't know that word.
Okay.
What is that? Is that an arousal?
It's the beginning stages. Yeah, it's the beginning of the growth of the male organ.
Do you see how educational this show is? If you could hear it,
you might have learned something.
You would know. If you could, it's a shame nobody heard that, because that to me was really a tumescence, the early beginnings of an arousal. Okay, that's what intimacy coordinator says. Stop right there.
Yeah,
We're stopping everything.
Cut. Nobody calls cut but the director. I called cut.
I bet the intimacy coordinator knows that word too.
Probably.
Because I just be like, he's got a soft chub.
Right, that's a street name.
He's not fully, but he's growing.
This is going to be a problem.
There is a...
See, I always, you know me, I always disputed that. Because,
I know you did.
Because shooting a movie, daggone, sorry.
No.
My throat's dry. But shooting a movie doesn't happen in real time.
Yes.
You know, they don't go from
That's right.
making out to toplessness to falling into bed.
Right.
It's, you know, shot by painstaking shot.
Plus,
With lights and
right.
crews and and do-overs and do-overs and do-overs.
all that stuff around
It's
you.
not sexy.
It's not sexy. You're right.
You know, the art is making it look sexy.
That's right. Well, the coordinator, Dave Thackeray, says when it happens, he steps in, and the actor apologizes usually, and everybody says, "Hey, it's nature," and he has to go and collect himself for 5 to 10 minutes, and then they get back out.
I've got a portfolio of Mother Teresa over here. I can take a look at this.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, what are you supposed to do exactly?
Can somebody bring me some pictures of my grandmother?
I've got some more atrocities. Would you like to see those?
He says what they try to do is make it really clear it's normal, and that the worst thing we can do is carry on. You can't do that. You have to take a break, and you don't want to gawk or laugh or snicker at the man. Look, this is nature. We're all adults here, is what he says. And he keeps, the intimacy coordinator, keeps things running smoothly and choreographs the sex movements and intimate action for the entire thing.
You know, we've talked about this before, but, you know, when I grew up, you know, if you went to see an R-rated movie, you would almost always be guaranteed to see a sex scene or two between, you know, the leads or
That's right.
whoever. You don't see that much anymore. I mean, the movie sex scenes are disappearing and quickly. Now, I don't know if you guys watch more premium television content than I do. I don't know if there's more on that, or if it's just like the occasional boob.
Yeah.
It's not even boo, it's butts. You get more butts, I think.
And you know, and sometimes if I
Side
watch
boob.
yeah, thank you. But like if I watch a movie and it'll say at the beginning, you know, brief nudity, it's usually a dude.
Yeah.
It's usually a dude's butt.
That's right. You know what? When I read this article, this was New York Post. They had pictures of the show Bridgerton, which I don't watch, and apparently there's a lot of sex in that, a lot of sex scenes.
I've heard that's a steamy show.
Right. So that's what they reference. You always notice things more than I do. You had to point that out to me that in the 80s, if it's R-rated, I mean, yeah, boobs were everywhere. And,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, you'd see a woman climbing out of a shower, climbing into bed. I mean,
Yeah,
it was just
that's right.
It was just done.
now it's not done as much. I guess women are more uncomfortable doing that kind of thing, and you know,
Or it's just more gratuitous.
Yeah.
It doesn't help
There's no point.
advance the show
plot,
or the
that's
story.
right. Now, this was an interesting line from this guy who's the coordinator. He says, when this occurs, a timeout is called for the stars to collect themselves, and coordinators must make sure the actors' needs are met. So what does he mean by that? You've just got to take time? What does he mean by the actor's need has to be met? I wasn't sure what, because I mean, is he afraid he's going to go right back to it? I mean, 10 minutes later, is it going to happen again? You know,
Is he saying the actor has to go?
that's what I thought. I don't think so.
Well, when he says needs have been met, that's what it implies to me.
To me too. But I thought, could that be?
You give him 10 minutes. We'll need the lead to give him 10 minutes to jacket.
I can't imagine.
Well, I can't imagine.
That's how that sounds.
But it
He's in
is.
his trailer, okay? Personal needs time. God.
It's how it sounds.
What it sounded like to me too, and I thought that can't be going on while this poor woman's
No.
laying in a bed or waiting for him to come
Well,
back.
she's probably in a robe or in her trailer
Yeah, I guess so.
if she's a star.
I guess, but that is happening now on whatever shows that need these.
How has your wife not found Bridgerton?
Yeah, I asked her about that. She probably will get into that eventually. She's watching a lot of those. What is that show that Dave
loves?
The Gilded
Yeah,
Age.
she loves that too. She loves that show.
Bridgerton, I don't know. It's a weird mix of like kind of classic but modern day. I don't know if it'd be your wife's like type of thing.
Just saw yesterday. It looks like 1883 was the most watched show on Paramount Plus ever. Not coming back for season 2.
I was going to ask if you saw, and that's what the next show they're moving ahead. The
1932.
Graders. Yeah,
I'm in. I'm totally in on that.
it was a weird day because Paramount said basically, yeah, we're getting season 2 of 1883, and the creator of the show came out and said, no, you're not.
Yeah.
we're moving ahead to 1932.
They told the story. It was perfect.
That's what he said. He goes, "There's nothing else to tell."
Right.
And he claims he's never going to do a show just to do a show or do a season just to do a season. So
I like it.
he's moving forward.
Good for him. I thought that was the right thing to do. Let me give you my Neil Diamond news. Now, this is new. He sold his entire music catalog, which has become the thing now. Bob Dylan's done it. Bruce Springsteen done it. Now, Neil Diamond. He's 81. No word on how much he got for the entire catalog. Sting recently got $300 million. Bob Dylan got around $400 million. What was it? Springsteen was about $500 million. Yeah, 500 and something million. So they're saying it'll be in that area because he's written so many and
Good for him.
sung so many. Yeah, good for him. Exactly. It's fine with me. Now, I debated the factoid, and I guess I'll do it since we're all staticky anyway, you know. This song, America. When I was watching the 1996 Olympics, which took place in Atlanta, they opened with this because America was hosting. And to me, it was one of the best montages I've ever seen. And they had swimming and all the things done in the Olympics to this song, which I loved. And I read a few days later that they had something completely different. And the person in charge of production looked at it 2 days before they were going to air it and said, "I hate this." And they scrapped it and in a day put together this great montage to America by Neil Diamond. They had to scramble and it only took them a day to do it. And I thought, wow, that's pretty good.
I like that.
To get it done.
That is a good factoid.
Thank you.
Never heard that.
Yeah, it was really...
Where would you? Is it on YouTube, you think?
I think it probably is. That's why I was getting ready to wonder. And,
The NBC or the Olympics can be very protective.
well, yeah. This was NBC's Open to the 1996 Olympics, hosted in Atlanta with America by Neil Diamond playing while they and it showed all these American cities. It was so good. And, I mean, I love a montage. You know that.
Yeah. Yes.
You know how
You're a
much.
sucker for a montage.
Oh my God. Well, and this story goes right along. This is Sylvester Stallone. Rocky had fantastic montages. I love the Rocky montage.
The training montage.
Oh. The thing on that is when they show in Rocky 2, he's running around Philadelphia, and the kids start following him and everything. And then Chris Demm told me a few years ago, if you'd look at the route he took, he runs 112 miles. He's all around. He's
Some locals did the math.
yes.
Said you couldn't get from there to there, and these poor kids would never make the run.
Because he's running.
He's in shape.
If you look
Yeah.
on the map, they have a red line of where he ran, and it's just, Philadelphia's a pretty big city.
It is.
In fairness.
I mean, yeah, it's got a lot of landmarks, but they're not all together.
Right. So Stallone was asked if Rocky fought Rambo, your two major characters, who would win in a fight? If I was answering that, I would say Rambo. He's
In a walk.
He's so tough.
He's multi-talented.
Yeah, he really is.
I mean, Rocky's a boxer. I mean, he was a leg breaker too, right? For a time, for the loan shark.
He was, but he didn't like doing that. Remember, he let guys go. He wouldn't break their thumbs.
Yeah.
He would not, because he was like, he had a soft
but he had to
spot.
break a few.
He did do a few. That's right. And Rocky, or rather Stallone, was asked who would it be, who would win in the fight, and he said, well, early on I would say Rambo, but if Rocky could get a few jabs in on him, maybe. He said both men would be changed, but neither would be declared the winner.
That is a very Dave Aiken answer.
God.
He said both men would be changed forever, but neither could be declared a winner because they're both so great in their own right. Yeah. But I go Rambo, as you said, so easy because he can do everything. And Rambo, God, he
could live on his own for a year in the jungle.
He has been through it. Rambo has been.
And he would take on battalions, right?
Yes. I thought the first two Rambo movies were unbelievable. When I was 14 years old watching those, I was just like, this is heaven. It was so good. There's that comedian, Tommy Davidson, and he talks about Stallone basically playing that same character over and over again.
I want to be one of those actors that's around for a long time, like Stallone. You've been around a long time. Come on. Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Stallone's problem is Rocky in every damn movie he does, though, isn't he? Now, I love Rocky. Don't get me wrong now. They're on my house, Mick. Oh, they're around my house. My house stinks. All right, stinks, Mick. I never asked you for no favors. Hey, I mean to fight the fight, y'all fight the fight. We'll be there! You always said something you can't understand. I was just from over there if you want to go there. I can't understand what you said, Rock. I was just from over there. Problem is, he's Rocky in every damn movie, even Cliffhanger. You see Cliffhanger? It's been 2 years since that accident, and you're still stressing out. You were there! I was the one that was up there in that rope, not you. I was just a mother from my people right there.
Best Stallone impression I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Tommy Davidson.